you are new on this channel, make sure you subscribe, you hit the like button, and you share with your enemies and friends. And
you hit the post notification so you'll be alerted once a single video drops. We need you to watch and you to like.
Yeah, you can't escape us. You're gonna be in your face every single day.
Every single week we'll give you that one.
For some of you that are married, for some of you that are living together, we want to share our own experience with you, how we survive in our first year of marriage.
Living together.
Yeah, so for some of you that are living together, maybe not married yet, or some of you that are already married, you can also share with us in the comment section below so we can, hear from you guys as well. So early on when I was telling my friend that, we're taking it a bit more seriously now, obviously, the marriage was before we started living together. So we have put plan in place to secure a place together for each other, because before we were living separately, and we have put plan in place to secure a place big enough for us to be living together. And so early on I was a bit like scared. I was like, am I ready to take this step? So I was having a dialogue with one of my friends, and he was like, you're gonna be fine, mate. Like, just, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, you can always move out. So I was like,
that's not the mindset you should go in it with, though. But
so it's just like there's no harm in no harm in trying. You get my point? So I was like,
have you ever lived with a female before?
I have.
Okay.
I used to,
For me, it was completely different, because prior to that, I lived with my mom. I've always lived with my mom, and then prior to that, my parents, my siblings. I've always lived at home, basically. And as I got into my 20s, it was just like, okay, cool. It was very, very scary. Were you scared or something for you to open up to him about that?
No, I was, not scared. I was just, what's the word? I was just, maybe a little bit anxious, thinking about the whole living together. I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm going like maybe in a box now. Like, when you are living separately, you have your own freedom, you can do your own thing.
Your own thing to do what?
You can just get home from work, go to your bed without having to chat to no one. But now when you are together, there's a lot of things that is gonna be totally changed. So I was like, am I ready for this? I know I was ready for it, because obviously we're planning our
the reason why I asked about were you scared is because you said you previously lived with a female before. So what was it about this that really scared you, since you've already done that?
Because when I used to live with a female, then I became single again, living by myself. I kind of like enjoy my own space at that particular time. Like when I became single again, like I was just living by myself, doing my own thing with my friend and things like that. I became a little bit more of, I was enjoying my freedom basically, and now thinking about having to live with a female again was like, because I know what to expect, like, like we have to like do things together, maybe I don't want things to be left at this particular place, she wanted to be there, it was just a lot of things that was, going on in my head from my experience, like, so living with someone. So it was just a little bit of like I was a little bit of anxious. So I was like, so I had to like lay out, speak to my friend, and it was like, Akim, you just have to do it, like, the wedding, once the wedding is done, just there's no point having to live separately, then she's coming to visit again. It doesn't make any sense. So living together will be a best option. And if you feel like you're struggling, you can always move out. I was like, that was a good point. Like, if I feel like she's not, like, but I'm not gonna lie to you, living together has helped us to strengthen our relationship, our marriage, and
like I said when I rudely interrupted you, sorry, I'm working on that, guys. I know I do interrupt him a lot, but please bear with me. I've got a lot to say. So Yeah, obviously, like I said before, that I'd always lived at home, yeah, and that was really scary for me because it was like my first time. I'm not word of a lie. Yeah, when we first like started living together, and we'll be like in the bedroom, like sleeping, like the first week. Like, don't get me wrong, I know, you know, I used to come to his place, and you know, I slept over a few times. Sorry, mum, and stuff like that, but I will be sleeping in the bed, and then I would just like look beside him, like as we're sleeping, and I see him sleeping, and I'm just like,
where are you looking?
like just looking, like seeing, like, okay, I'm actually living with this person. Because when you actually think about it, it's actually a very scary thing, you know, to actually live with someone, like take that commitment, because you're strangers really until you start living together. What about if he's a psychopath and in the middle of the night he just all of a sudden gets a hammer and do you know, I'm just weird, but these are the things I think about. So it was really a scary step for me, but then I just got over it. Like you said, we were getting married, we were taking this step, a child was soon going to be in the picture. So it was something that I had to just be like, you know, you get used to it with anything, even a new job, a new friendship, you warm up to it and you get used to it. And some of the challenging things for me when it comes to living together was just like he said, little things. Like I have things that really irked him in the beginning, and he also has things that irk me in the beginning. Like me and him, we always have this fight and this debate, yeah, about who's the messiest. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be honest here, yeah, I'm not the cleanest person in the world, and I can say that. I know, like, you know, some of my friends, yeah, they have like OCD, everything has to be, and I admire to be that person, but me, I'm alright with like things being on the sofa and things like that, and then I clean it. I do clean, but I clean up in my own time or whatever. But there's things that he will do, like he will finish like a roll of tissue in the toilet. He's gotten better at that, because in the beginning, and then he will just like throw, in our first house, the bathroom and the toilet was together, so he'll just throw it on the floor. The shower gel, maybe he'll be bathing and stuff, and then he's finished, he'll throw it on the floor. In his mind, thinking that I'm gonna pick it up once I finish bathing and throw it in the bin. I know that's what he's thinking, but then he'll just leave it on the floor. And then I'll come in the bathroom, and then when I'm doing like my daily clean and that, I'm the one that has to pick it up and stuff like that, which I don't mind, but little things like that, I was just like, oh my God, why do you always do this? The bin is just there. Do you know what I mean? Why are you throwing it on the floor? Things like that. And obviously, sleeping wise, he does this really weird thing that when he's sleeping, he just lifts his leg up like this, like up in the air. And I don't know if he actually, did you know you did that? He didn't know he did that until I told him that, you know what, when you're sleeping, why do you, like if he's sleeping on his is it belly? Yeah, he'll sleep on his belly, and then his legs are like up, like, you know, like when you're on holiday and you're reading a magazine and then you're kicking your legs up and your legs up, but his legs stay up like that to the point that it's moving the duvet, and then I have to like move his leg with my leg. So things like that, they're just small stuff. But then when you get to the bigger things, well, obviously habits maybe that he already had living by himself, that I also had, like going out, you know, you're not forgetting that, hello, you got a wife at home that you actually need to call, and the child, and say, oh, you know what, babe, I'm gonna come in the morning, oh, sorry, I'm late. He'll go out and then don't call or whatever. Maybe he's like drank a little bit too much, he's crashed at his friends, which is fine, but please let me know. And I always used to be like, I just feel like it's so disrespectful. I'm worried, even if it's my flatmate who's not my boyfriend or my husband, and we live together, and you go out and you don't come back, I'm gonna be calling you, texting you like, oh my God, like where is you? Do you know what I mean? So those are my little things, and I think how I got over them was just we talked, we communicated, we told each other what we liked and what we didn't like. And I think the biggest thing is communication. We struggled in the beginning, but I think if you get that communication right, then everything else kind of just falls into place. Yeah.
So for me, like she said, we have our own weaknesses and stuff. I do my own thing, like she said about throwing tissues on the floor and things like that, throwing shower gel maybe. So she also have her own things like leaving clothes on the sofa and things like that. Then I had to like after parking, So it's just a lot of differences
Oh,
at
and
the
you
beginning.
say you and my mom said that I don't close things.
Yeah, so she opened the microwave, she left it there like open like that, she opened what is it called, toothpaste, she left it open like that. She opened oil, there was a day oil at I spilled oil by accident because
It's not that
she
I don't
left it
close
open.
the oil.
You put the cover like this, you won't close it, like, so those are these little weird things, like, why? What is the need? You already put the cover, just tighten it up. So what's so, and it's just a lot of things that I feel like it's just has to do with brain sometimes. It's not like, because there's no amount of how I say this that it's gonna make her change her ways. It's just she's just so used to that. Talking about going out as well, for a man who have always been independent, no one is asking about where is
that you
about
have to
and
answer
stuff,
to.
So
Yeah.
I'm just used to my own way of doing things. Go out, come back. I just feel like because in my previous relationship there was that wasn't an issue. So I was like, why are you chasing me about? Why are you calling me up and down? Why you? I've told you I'm going out and I'm gonna come back.
And I wouldn't, let's be honest, I wouldn't call you up and down, would I? I would call you like maybe towards when I know that you should be home by now. It's not like I'm calling him during the night. He would say he's going out, I'll leave him to it. But if I know it's like 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., I'm not like, babe, you okay? That's,
Yeah, sometimes maybe I had too much of a drink. I don't want to drive. I just feel like I want to just crash.
Yeah, we want to be safe because
place,
no drinker driving, guys.
Yeah, so it's just like sometimes I wake up, my phone is missed calls. What's the need for this? You call one or twice.
Yeah, but you could be
No
dead
response,
in a ditch. No offense, I don't mean to be morbid, but that's the reality, guys. Or am I? Yeah, I mean, once or twice. I mean, if I call you once or twice and you're not answering, and then you're not, who knows? Maybe I overthink, but you could literally be dead in a ditch. You could have got in a fight. You could have got in an accident. You could have got arrested. There's so many possibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's right. So I started, when having to process things, I started, feeling like, okay, maybe it's good to communicate, say, okay, you know what, I'm not coming back home tonight.
Because babe, I know you feel like you're a man. Let's switch the roles. If it was me who went out and I didn't come home and you're calling me and I don't pick up, and would you not be worried though? Let's be honest. Would you not start feeling like, wow, what about if something's happened to her?
Yeah, I would be, but like I said before, from coming from living by yourself, no one is checking on you.
Let me know in the comments, people that are married or in long-term relationships. We have different opinions. Obviously now we have an understanding, but I just feel like there's a level of respect as well. If you live with your wife or if you live with your partner, it's not about, oh, yeah, he knows I'm just going to be home. Do you know, I could give you the same excuse. What's the difference between, I could just be like to my girls, my friends, oh, yeah, he knows I'm just going to be home. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being out, but you can just say, oh, babe, we're going to another place, or I'm staying at this person's house, and then not to let that person sit up all night and worry, and then you just pop in and say, oh, okay, because that's some of the sacrifices that do come with marriage and that do come with like living together, that you have to let go of that singleness. That's why when you do get married, it's like, you become one. It's not about you anymore. And those are the things that sometimes I feel like men have a hard time accepting in the beginning. They still want to be down with their single friends, and some women still want to be down with their single friends as well, but you're not single anymore.
2 is about now finances. When you're by yourself, you can easily plan yourself. You can easily say, I don't want to spend more than this month, and you can achieve that. But when you are living with your wife,
And
it's
children.
difficult, and children. At that time there was no children involved, but we're expecting a baby. So at that time it's like, it's difficult. Like, I'd already had this plan in my head, like, okay, this month this is what I want to spend. I figure out some additional expenses. I'm just saying that the early stage, maybe I want to impress her, maybe I want to buy a gift on my way from work, maybe before when you are just by yourself, you don't you can say, okay, I want to spend 200 this month, I want to spend 500 this month. But when you are now living with someone, it's really difficult to really estimate how much you can actually spend in a month, without having to spend more than your plan. It was some of the things that I actually struggled with in the beginning, and I was like, it wasn't like raw like that, but it's just like, yeah, that's what it is. Like on my way, she can say, oh, can you buy me this? I'll be like, okay, cool, because am I gonna say no? Yeah, so
you can say no.
No. I'm not used to saying no. It just has to be yes.
But you can't say no to me.
So yeah. So what other experience do you?
Yeah, there's obviously like those were the two major ones I mentioned, and back to the smaller things like I had mentioned before, like the throwing the things. Those are the smaller stuff. Respect, you just don't live by yourself anymore. Like we were just saying about checking up. If people maybe want to come to the house or whatever, it's kind of like, oh yeah, my friend's coming, or yeah, things like that you won't have if you live by yourself. You don't have to do that. You're like, it's my house, do you know what I mean? Or being on the phone all types of nights, people, it's not like a rule that I tell people that, oh, don't call me, but I'm married. Most people know, don't call me after a certain time. Don't just be calling my friend at like midnight start. I mean, it's just, even male friends or it's just them little things there, that can be a problem for certain people. But again, like communication, and always think if the foot was in the other shoe, how would the other person feel like? Because most of these little things, sometimes they can build up to bigger things. And if you just leave it on a ground level and just talk about it, then everything can be smoothed over.
Yes, talking about phone, wow, that was a very good point. Like you reminded me now, because I'm used to like coming from work, being on the phone with my friend, or maybe I'm calling my dad, or I'm calling my sister. I can get in when I was living by myself. I can get in and talk for another hour, because no one is actually like being offended or like thinking like I'm not spending time or anything like that. So I can actually spend hours on the phone, do anything. I'm kind of like free using my phone. Coming back from work, I can be on the phone, without going to bed. But now living with someone, you have to always be conscious, like, okay, because you want to make sure that you still have time for that person when you get inside. It's just like on the phone. Even if I have to go inside with the phone call, I have to be conscious that, okay, maybe another 20 minutes or so, then I can tell whoever it is, like, oh, I'm home now, then I need to speak to Ilea or something, or maybe we can continue this tomorrow, just to have a bit of quality time with your partner. It's just one of the things that people struggle with, the differences and the struggles of our first year of living together. Like this video, make sure you always tuned in. We're gonna be uploading almost every 2-3 days of the week, and we're gonna see you in our next video. Remember to comment, remember to like, and remember to share.
Yeah, and in the comment section, please tell us some of the struggles you dealt with and how you also dealt with them as well. Was it communication? Was it that one person got their way? Or just let us know and we will read them and reply to them. So we'll see you in our next video, guys.
Love you guys.